Hello, everybody, and welcome to the top 5 new comics for June 11th and 12th of 2024. I'm, as always, Chris, and I'm really excited about this week. We've got a great crop of comics to choose from. It was very hard. I think my original list was somewhere around 9, and I had to trim it down. But what's really exciting, too, is we have some brand new number ones that we can all jump on, and some returning as well. It's a great mix, some awesome books. I'm just really excited for this week. It's summer is here, and when summer comes, all of these great new books start to come out, and we get to explore new worlds and different characters in the comics world. So let's do it and jump right into it, starting with Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age #1. This is written by Andy Diggle with art by Leonardo Fernandez. So starting off, Gotham by Gaslight, the original one, is a classic series that everybody loves. Everybody knows Brian Augustyn and Mike Mignola's original series and how great it was. And it's been adapted into animated stuff. We've seen it in video games and other things. It's just one of those series that everybody looks back as part of that Elseworlds line that is just legendary in comics. I always say two of my favorite things in comics about the world of comics is Elseworlds and What If. And I kind of lump them together because they're very similar concepts, just done in somewhat different ways. And what better way to bring back the Elseworlds line than to bring back Gotham by Gaslight? This being the first in DC's new initiative to finally bring back Elseworlds, even though I firmly believe it's been back for a couple of years now with books like Dark Knights of Steel and DC versus Vampires. But that aside, to have it officially back and to launch it with Gotham by Gaslight sequel is just an amazing idea. Unfortunate that we couldn't get some one or both the original creators to come on board. That said, it still has some excitement there. I mean, you were never going to get Mike Mignola to come back. He's doing his Hellboy stuff and whatever he's doing at Dark Horse right now. He's just in his own world right now doing amazing stuff. And then to bring in this idea that during the Gotham by Gaslight era in the 19th century, the steampunk Batman with Cthulhu vibes coming left and right out of it. What happens when Superman shows up? Will Superman show up? I mean, it's obvious that it's called the Kryptonian Age, so we will see some form of Superman. But in this listation, they don't outward say that he's back. They just say the mysterious meteorite appears, and now Batman and Catwoman have to figure out what's going on. I believe firmly this means Superman's appearing. And that's really exciting just to see him in this world, how he fits in with this steampunk Lovecraftian Batman world. There's just so much to look forward to with this book. And I'm really, really excited to get my hands on it and see where it goes. It's been a long time since that original series came out. And can this live up to what that book was and is? And is it really the worthy opener for a new Elseworlds? We'll all see here in a few days. And as we stand right now, I'm just really excited to get my hands on it and find out for myself. After that, I've got Remote Space #1. This is written and drawn by Cliff Rathburn. Rathburn, sorry. 4-issue miniseries over at Image Comics. Cliff's a legend. Like, he's done so much stuff over the years that we all love. I mean, if you don't love Invincible, I don't know what you're doing in comics. It's one of my favorite comics of all time. And it's just one of those books that stands out among independent superhero books as, if not the best, one of the best. And to have him back doing his own thing with his own series, we've got this strange sci-fi book where basically climate change has taken over, and the human race has taken two paths. One's gone kind of a transhumanist route with cybernetics, a cyberpunk route, if you will. And the other has decided to genetically manipulate themselves to be able to live on this new world. And what happens when those two groups conflict? Unfortunately, in our world, humans coming to conflict with each other is a very, very regular thing. And we could see where when two people have two groups of people have two different ideas of the future of humanity. Tell me if any of this sounds familiar, people. You could see them conflicting with each other as to who has the right idea. And to put this in a futuristic space centered around the idea of climate change gone amok, there's so many great concepts and themes and everything going on here, along with Cliff's amazing art. I think this is going to be a really awesome 4-issue series that is just going to stand out amongst a lot of the independent stuff out there right now. And we'll see where it goes. I hope it is. I hope it's really good. Obviously, every book I hope is really good. And I just can't wait to be reading a Cliff Rathburn book once again. After that, I've got The Weatherman, Volume 3, Number 6. This is written by Jody LeHeup with art by Nathan Fox. So I'm really bad with what issue's the last issue of a series. If you couldn't tell through this, I think I've been saying for 2 issues now, I think this is the last or second last issue. I can confirm that this is the second to last issue of Weatherman. So issue 7 will finally wrap up the series. Somewhat unfortunately, because I just really love Weatherman. The Weatherman's a book that when it is all brought together into one giant trade, I will be pushing that book hard on people because it is such a great series. And we got last issue, which was just a very much a strike team attacks, a bunch of cool fights. It was almost the mini boss segment of a video game where we get all these different battles between two characters that we've been seeing kind of conflict from a distance, and now they're in the same room. And our lead character here has the weapon and is ready to use it. So will he use it in this issue? Will he be stopped in this issue? What's going to happen? We'll find out. But if you have not read Weatherman, I cannot recommend this series enough. It is one of, if not my favorite comic on the market right now, let alone independent comic on the market. So definitely go back and check out The Weatherman if you're not already on board. After that, I've got Godzilla, Skate or Die number 1. This is written and drawn by Joyce. I am very much a kaiju Godzilla fan. I absolutely love the concept of just giant monsters run amok. That said, I pick and choose my Godzilla comics and my kaiju comics. You really have to do something special for me to dive on board. One easy way to do that is to jump inside the punk skateboarding culture. And if you don't know that about me, growing up, it was all about punk rock and skateboarding. I mean, to this day, I still try to go out on my longboard and ride around. It's just one of those things ingrained in me that I just absolutely love and try to keep up with. And to see that culture represented in a Godzilla book is just intriguing to me, even if it is on this this almost goofy kind of storyline. But I also love the storyline that they're proposing, where these group of kids spent all this time creating the perfect skate park, and it's what they wanted. It's what they've been working towards for so long. And when it's finally done, they get to enjoy it and have fun with it. Who shows up but a giant kaiju heading straight for it to destroy it? And how these skate punks go about fighting against the kaiju, how Godzilla gets involved. These are all fun aspects that I just think are going to make for a really cool, interesting book. And honestly, just keeping that culture of skateboarding and punk rock alive in some way is something near and dear to my heart. So I think this will be a really fun book. It's going to bring me so much nostalgia, and I really look forward to checking it out. And then we will end with Dick Tracy, number 2. This is written by Alex Seguar and Michael Moreci, with art by Geraldo Borges. So as you're watching this today, actually, my review of this book has gone up. So I've already read the issue. And I gotta say, like, I really enjoyed the first issue. I thought it was an amazing starting point to bring people into the world of Dick Tracy and not bog them down too much with some of the past of Dick Tracy. This issue really dives deeper into that world. It's, while the book continues the story of the first issue, trying to get this violent murderer and figure out what happened and who did it, it's also adding in all these elements, all, flathead and or flat top and Lips and all these different characters that get introduced into it that are classic Dick Tracy characters, and showing their place in the world while also building upon Dick Tracy's friends and adding another character to that, bringing in his time during World War II through flashbacks. There's so many great elements being done here that it's just a joy. And then the art here, the art here is just stellar. It really could have been, I said in my review, it could have been easy to maybe cut some corners on characters, because the Dick Tracy universe has so many loud and flamboyant characters that you didn't need to go into so much depth with them in terms artistically, that is. But Geraldo here just goes over the top and makes sure that every character is unique. Even if when we see Dick outside of the yellow coat and hat, when we just see him in his regular clothes, we know that is Dick Tracy. He does such an amazing job of building scenes and building panels and characters and everything throughout this, that it's just amazing that it is. And it was fun to learn that a lot of times doing this series, I spout off names, and I'm not really good with names in my personal life. And you kind of connect dots through doing these kinds of videos and the different write-ups I do and the podcasts and everything. And Geraldo is the Artist to No One, which is another book that I absolutely adore. And it just made so much sense, because how that book is set up and how this book is set up are very similar artistically, obviously the same artist. And connecting those dots for me was like, oh, this is a guy whose work I really, really enjoy, and is now an artist that I'm going to look for on future titles. So Dick Tracy number 2 was an amazing issue. I'm sure you can still go out there and get Dick Tracy number 1 at your local comic shops or digitally. Mad Cave does an amazing job of making digital comics available to the public, and they've reprinted issue 1 a few times now, so it's out there, it's available. It's a series worth diving into, especially for my fellow crime noir fans and detective story fans. It's an awesome, awesome title. So I definitely recommend checking it out. So everybody, thank you so, so much for watching this week. If you are enjoying these videos, please take the time to hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel and see all of our great content, more of these videos, the Forts Comic News podcast videos, our interviews, everything we're doing here, and comment to let me know what books you are most looking forward to this week. Which ones did I miss? I can let you know if they were part of my original 9. All of those kinds of things. I want to hear more from you. So I appreciate you all so much, and I'll definitely see you all here next week.